everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold of Hineni and the Widow Ruckelshaus, and today we're going to do Rita Donnelly flips. This is one of my favorite things. They're super easy, and they're just a staple in junk journals. I usually use like about 4 of them. In this one, I'll probably just use 2 because we have so few pages, and because it kind of adds a lot of bulk to it because you're going to put on a double layer. So what we want to do is we want to create a square for each of the flips. And so I've got this all lined up here on my board, on my cutting board. I'm going to link this board for you just in case that would be helpful. And then I want to fold it right along this line right here. Okay, so that I can get a square out of this. There we go. And that means it's going to go right along the 7-inch line too. Okay, so we've got that. And then we're going to do the same thing over here at this end. Or do I want I think I want some of this torn part on one of them. Do I? No, that's not a good place to use that. Okay, so I'm going to line this up again so that it's square on here. And it doesn't have to be the same size as the other one. It can be a different size if you want. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger here. Okay, so that gives me my square. Okay, so then I'm just going to cut right along here and along here, along here and here. Don't need to use my paper trimmer. I can just use scissors for this because I've got a good guide. I cannot cut straight to save my soul, you guys. So if I'm cutting with scissors, you know it's got to be really easy. Okay, so that's one. And then here's the other, and I'm going to show you. These are so incredibly easy to do, but they're very cool. They provide extra writing space and another pocket, and they're like so easy to do. Okay, and then this we can use for something else. Okay, so then I'm going to turn these wrong side out like this, and you don't have to distress them, but I'm going to distress them since I've already done a lot of distressing in this. It's just I want to keep it consistent. So I'm going to go ahead and distress both of these really quickly. Now I only need to distress the side that's going to show. All right, so I want to decide ahead of time. So this one doesn't have as much print on it, so this is going to be glued to the book, so it's not going to show. So we're going to go around and just go ahead and distress the edges. I think I might need to put more ink on this one too, but I've already shown you how to do it, so I'll do that off camera. Make sure that you get the fold. It only needs to be distressed on this side because again the other side's going to be down. Now this is going to open up, so we do want to go ahead and distress this one, and I'm going to go ahead and distress the inside as well. The whole inside is going to show. Now I'm going around in circles so that it doesn't, I don't know, it just looks better that way. But I'm doing it really light. If you do it too hard, you're going to end up with it'll be obvious where you put the stamp, this thing down, the tool down. And it's okay if it bends some. In fact, go over those places with ink to emphasize them because it makes it look older and more used and well loved. I'm going to crease backwards and go ahead and distress that. And then go around and distress the edges. Okay, it's easier to distress it folded because the heavier it is, the easier it is to distress, and you get a better distressing mark. If you have to do it with just one layer, then that's fine. It's not the end of the world, but it does distress easier if you've got it like this. Okay, see, so look at that inside. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so that's one right there. Oh, I didn't do yes I did. Okay, so I did that part. Okay, so that's one of them, and then we're going to do this one real quick. Which side do I like the best? This one, because it has more print on it, since that's kind of the theme of the book. And you can decorate these if you want to. I usually just use, the paper just the way it is like this and distressed and don't add things to it. But sometimes I'll put like a stamp, like a postage stamp or something on there. That looks kind of cool. Or if I have something else that's really small, you don't want it to go past this because then you won't be able to flip it open. Okay, remember I don't have to do the other side because that's not going to show. Okay, so I'm going to open it up and I'm going to get some brown all over in here. I'm not worried about it bending or anything, that's totally fine. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it backwards again and distress on the crease and all the way around the edges on one side and then the edges on the other side. There we go. And then I'll show you how to put it in the book. Okay, so let's decide which pages. I'm just doing 2 in this journal probably. I may come back and do more, but I'm just doing 2. I don't think I want to do it on these ones with the sari silk. I want to do it on something that has a small edge, like this one right here. Will this fit though? Because this is a small page. I can do that. I'll have to cut off part of it if I do, so let's not do it yet. Let's find out if we've got a full-size page that would fit on. I might have just used the small lace on small pages, so I think we're going to have to use it on a bigger page, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to do it on that page right there. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to turn these sideways. Oh, that's the back of the one that we just sewed. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do it on that. I think that'll work just fine. Okay, so we're going to go, I'm going to do this over the lace. You can, another option, if you don't want to go over the lace, is that you can trim off just a little bit here like that. But I think I want to go ahead and do it over the lace. Even doing over the lace, though, it gets really close to that, the inside spine. So I'm going to trim off just a little bit because I don't want it to get caught when I bind the book. Okay, and again, that little tiny piece is great for franken paper. We'll make some franken paper later because I know you're wondering maybe what that is. What the heck is franken paper? Okay, so to sew this on, you want to open it up, but you're not going to sew the whole thing. You want to just sew these 2 outside edges. All right? So I'm going to pull my sewing machine in. Now, is that going to get... Yeah, that's not going to sew down anything on the other side. Always check the other side. See what you're going to affect there. I've already got it on zigzag. And you don't want to sew over the fold either, because then it won't close. You want this to be able to flip open and shut. So I'll show you in just a second where I sewed. Okay. So it's like this, and then it can shut like this. Okay. All right, and then we can slide something in there. I'll show you when we've got them both. Okay, so now let's do the other one. And same thing. We're gonna line it up to the corner here. Now this one's small enough that we don't have to go over the lace. So we can just do it inside the lace like that. We're gonna open it up, and we're just gonna sew right here and right here. Okay, I'm actually going to do the bottom first because that makes it easier to go through the sewing machine on this side. There we go. And this is reinforcing the belly bands that we put into and the bottom of that other tuck. We're sewing on it again. Okay, there we go. Let's make sure that we didn't sew any place that we didn't want to. Nope, that's all good. This is what's on the other side, what we did yesterday. Okay, and then these are our Rita Donnelly flips, right like that. Okay, so where's my little, so here's one of the tags. We can stick it in here. Okay, we've got like a little pocket there, and we can open this up and write in here. Okay, same thing with this. And we can write in here. Now, a couple things that you can do. If you want to go over the where the print is with some gesso or some off-white paint, you could do that. Or this is light enough that you can write on it with, do I have any of my pens here? Yeah. This kind of pen writes really, really dark. I don't want to write on there, obviously. Let's see if I've got a scrap. Okay. I can write with this pen. See how it shows up really nicely? This one doesn't have any print on it though. Let's find one that has print. Let's just go ahead and write on this part here. Okay, so I can write on this and see how you can see it, it shows up. Okay, that shows up fine right over the print. So this, I'll link these pens below. It's a Uniball Signo. And this is bold and black. They have it in different colors. They have it in fine, medium, and bold. I usually get the bold. I love these. I usually, not always, I don't say anything about it in my description on my Etsy shop, but I usually will send one of these pins along with the journal too, because I just think that they're the best for the journal. Okay, so this one here where I cut it, it's kind of coming up, so I'm going to sew it down right there too to hold that part in place as well, so it doesn't tear later when it's being used. So just up to that. I'm not going to sew over the fold. If you sew over the fold, it's not going to close. Okay, so that's cool. Oops, nope, it didn't get it. Hold on, let me sew that again. Make sure that it actually sews it down. And that adds more threads hanging out too, which is really cool. Okay, so that worked. Okay, so let's put this back in the book because I haven't actually shown you how to do this. Okay, so you've got your book here, and these are the inside pages. Let's make sure they're going the right direction, like that. Okay, and then we're going to put this page in, put these middle pages back in there. So here's what the previous page looks like that we did before. And then here's our Rita Donnelly flip. And on the other side of the signature, here's a Rita Donnelly flip that's a little bit bigger. And there's our belly band. Pretty cool, right? This is all starting to come together. I would show you with the cover, but it's still drying. All right, I love you all. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.